So, a video that I was linked earlier, Hoyoverse voice actors using their platform to spread misinformation. Apparently this is about Wuthering Waves, and I have no idea what this even is. I haven't seen anything on Twitter or anything regarding Hoyoverse voice actors. I can't imagine that it's true. The like to view ratio is looking dire, but I just don't know. It could be misinformation. It could be correct information. We're going to watch it and we're going to find out. We're going to see if this guy knows what he's talking about or doesn't. I don't know. Is this Sayu? It better not be, because Sayu would not spread misinformation, but we'll see.
Today, I'll be focusing on some recent content shared by a very popular VA-VTuber combo.
Really?
Okay. Alejandro Saab, or Sayu.
Okay.
As a voice actor across many popular gacha games like
What has Sayu done? What the hell has Sayu done?
Star Rail and Genshin Impact, along with many reported roles in anime, Saab has built up quite a huge following across social media with an incredible reach on his audience. In short, his words mean a lot.
Realistically, his words mean as much as anybody else's, but he has a bigger platform, so more people are gonna listen.
Of public
and make up their own mind.
Support. Sayu, in a video uploaded earlier today, made a
Simba here had to censor Sai's potty map. Well, fuck me, an adult curses.
Very critical response to my video regarding my theory behind the troubles in voice work Wuthering Waves had.
Wait.
My video regarding video uploaded earlier today made a very critical response to my video regarding my theory behind the troubles in voice work Wuthering Waves had.
So he made a critical response to a video that was titled Sabotaged by Hoyoverse. Understandably okay, we'll keep going.
Development.
Hold on.
Sorry. Let me correct that. He didn't actually watch my video.
Okay.
He read one pinned comment that I made after several brigades from Twitter and r/Gacha Gaming without even attempting to.
I don't use Reddit, but I've heard r/Gacha Gaming is one of the worst fucking subreddits in the entire planet out there, apparently. I have no idea. I genuinely don't know, but it's just what I've heard.
Get context on my points. His fanbase brigaded my channel through a reply on one of the tweets, direct linking my video that remains up to this day.
So what I'm going to say about this is,
on one of the tweets.
Here's the thing. The wording that this guy's using is making it sound like Sayu told his community to go and brigade this video. The thing is, if the video that this guy made was bad, like misinformation and dogshit information, then it's natural that gacha game players are going to brigade the video anyway, and he's just putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5. Saying it was Sayu's fault, so we'll see.
Tweets direct linking my video that remains up to this day.
Okay.
It was then spread over to r/Gacha Gaming and was unmoderated for 13 hours.
That's a Reddit issue. That's a Reddit mod issue.
Leading to many comments like this and a growing
disgusting video, and now I know exactly why after I saw Sayu's video on it. Channels that are hate farming by spreading lies like this one are so pathetic. When I'm in a delusional competition and my opponent is that this guy? Saint Pontus. I mean, I need to see the original video to understand these comments, but if it was just pure misinformation, then yeah.
Growing list of blocked channel users. He starts off this segment.
You're also in your right to block any users you like. No one's going to judge you for that.
And a growing list of blocked channel users.
That's fine.
He starts off this segment by probably deliberately mispronouncing my name.
Saint Pontus, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Why would he? That didn't even sound like he was deliberately mispronouncing the name. I struggled with it. Saint Pontus.
Who is like...
Bro is hating for no reason.
Literally?
Uh-huh.
Just like... Bro.
Okay.
He even adds a nice little ethnic dialect to it for fun, even though I pronounce it very clearly.
For fun, or because he also has an ethnic dialect, brother? Jesus fucking Christ.
This little ethnic dialect to it for fun.
My God.
Even though I pronounce it very clearly in all of my videos.
But you just said he hasn't watched your videos. He just saw the pin. Brother, you're saying one thing and then... Okay, we're just going to continue. He hasn't watched your video, so he's not going to know how to pronounce your name how you say it. He saw the pinned comment, so...
He claims that I've taken his words out of context.
People
surprise, surprise. I'm getting that.
Taking my words out of context and just to spin their conspiracy theories.
Which is rich, coming from a voice actor who doesn't bother to learn the pronunciation of names.
Sorry, is your name a name in a video game that this guy's paid to pronounce properly? Or is your name one that he saw on a YouTube channel that was spreading apparent misinformation about said voice actor? Grow the fuck up.
Coming from a voice actor who doesn't bother to learn the pronunciation.
Grow the fuck up.
I paraphrase his earlier tweet and say he has no exclusivity. He wholeheartedly agrees with this.
Video.
Which makes sense. Sayu and plenty of other Genshin and Star Rail voice actors are voiced in plenty of other gacha games.
I was going to respond, but he said, Alejandro Saab has confirmed that he has no exclusivity in this contract. Right.
So, what am I taking out of context? He then gives this incredibly confusing breakdown on exclusivity.
Usually when it comes to voiceover, there is no exclusivity like that. The only time there is exclusivity is usually for commercials, aka like I talked about this previously, like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, this makes sense. It's like I wouldn't have any exclusivity with streaming games and being able to stream other games, but if I was doing, for example, the Samsung ad stuff, you remember that? You're not going to be able to also be promoting Apple at the same fucking time, right? That's just dumb. That's not confusing at all. Coca-Cola, why would Coca-Cola be like, yeah, promote our product for a month, but you can drink Pepsi as well? That's not confusing in the slightest. That's very normal.
And, you know, Pepsi, like competitors like that when it comes to commercials, because you don't want your spokesperson, your voice.
Yeah. He says this is only for...
It's a spokesperson for an entire brand compared to a character in a much larger universe of a video game.
Commercials. Are these cinematics not commercials?
Not really. They're promotional work for sure, but commercials? No, they're not.
Do they not serve the job of selling a product?
Yeah, of course they do. But that doesn't make it a commercial. That's totally different. Saying that voice acting saying that voice acting Jing Yuan is the same as being a spokesperson for Coca-Cola is wild.
Do they not serve the job of selling a product?
Yes, they do.
Which in this case is clearly a character.
But it also serves the job of promoting the overall game.
You can't be making general statements like, there is no exclusivity, and then follow up with...
Bro, that's not a general statement. That's a fact about his contract. That's not a that's the opposite of a general statement. It's a clear, concise point.
With exclusions that allow for it.
No, but he can, though, because he... If this guy is saying the reason Alejandro Saab isn't voicing in Wuthering Waves is because he's under exclusivity with Hoyoverse, Alejandro Saab is fully in his right to be like, no, there is no exclusivity in my contract. But just to educate you, the main reasons there is exclusivity usually is for things like this. That's fine to do.
There is no exclusivity, and then follow up with exclusions that allow for it. You are not answering questions here.
He is!
You are just making more. So Coca-Cola doesn't want their voice to do Pepsi.
Yes.
But the idea of Hoyoverse not wanting General Jing Yuan to voice General Jian is tinfoil.
It's tinfoil when you have no basis to go off, and then the voice actor has openly come out and said there is no exclusivity in the contract. There is nothing stopping him from doing that. The reason Wuthering Waves picked a different like a specific voice actor is because, number one, they're from the UK. They've openly come out and said this. They've openly come out and said for the English voiceover that they wanted people in the UK because they're closer to the time zones. And I'm not even going to bother explaining the rest. You can literally find it on Twitter. Holy fuck, this is such a fucking stretch to justify a point that doesn't exist for clout? For what?
You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
But when it comes to video games, anime, and that kind of thing, there isn't that.
Yeah. I directly reference this in my video as a potential...
The Chinese voice actor of Jian is Jing Yuan's VA. You're lying. You're lying. That's fucking great, dude. That's amazing. Holy shit. That's amazing. Well, I guess, okay, this guy could stretch it by being like, well, the CN laws and US regulations might be different, sure. But that's hilarious.
There isn't that.
I'm so curious what else there is.
This in my video as a potential slippery slope that could occur in the future, knowing that it isn't the present case. But yeah, let's just keep talking about points that I've already made and continue building that straw man.
He does...
My god, that's rich. Wow, that's rich.
And then he goes, he does not confirm whether or not his contract would be not be renewed if he took on a Woowa role. It would.
That's great. He refuted it live on Twitch. How is my statement untrue in any way?
I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of explaining the most basic points to you. That's...
What am I taking out of context? Where am I lying?
Everything. You accused the voice actors of being under an exclusivity contract, which is why they're not in Wuthering Waves. Number one, they might have just not wanted to be in Wuthering Waves. Number two, they might have just not been offered the role because, again, they wanted UK voice actors. And number three, they might have just been busy with other stuff. There's so many reasons why this wouldn't be a thing, yet you're clinging to the one reason that has been vehemently disproven to you. Why?
Was I supposed to update my comment in real time as his stream was live? Why paint
No, you meant to admit that you were wrong instead of fighting a dead argument.
me as some sort of manipulator in front of his audience? Sayu then says this about all voice...
Dude, this guy's such a fucking victim. It's insane. Why is he painting me as a liar when I only spreaded misinformation?
Voice actors working on all Hoyoverse games.
They don't care.
Wait, what was that?
Manipulator in front of his audience. Sayu then says this about all voice actors working on all Hoyoverse games.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
He confirmed...
They don't care about what, dude?
confirms that any voice actor
Where's the context?
would not have their contract revoked. But he's mainly actually talking about himself. Because later in the video,
obviously,
mumbled under his breath, he says every person gets different contracts.
No, they all signed the same one, under the same name. Yeah, no, they're all actually called Alejandro Saab. Every single yep, they all voice General Jing Yuan. Yep, they all have the same amount of voice lines and get paid the same. Yeah, crazy. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, everybody gets different contracts, so it's just ridiculous.
I'm so confused how you can be this dense on the topic and act like this guy is. I try not to get annoyed at this kind of stuff too often, but I've got to admit, dude, this is pure misinformation. This is a guy acting out a fucking story here like it's a fact when it's just completely and utterly wrong.
With that in mind, why is he so confident speaking out on behalf of the entire VA cast?
Well, number one, you cut out all of the context, so we don't even know if that's what he was doing.
Across all Hoyoverse.
He just said they don't care, and you were the person that said this is him speaking about every single Hoyoverse voice actor.
Games.
I won't always be right, because I don't know everything.
Exactly, no one does.
But I can tell you that contract shit is bullcrap.
Yep.
I might be because he's an expert, right? A lot of years in the industry, he keeps talking about it in this video.
Sure.
Or maybe he's using his situation and applying it to everybody else, when he really shouldn't be.
It sounds to me like he's talking about himself, and specifically Hoyoverse contracts, which he is on.
He then parrots the same exact point echoed by his entire community on my channel.
Okay.
Other voice actors have worked for other for Kuro Games.
This is crazy because this is the literal first point.
Since this video is going around on Twitter, here is some additional clarification. Yes, I know Chris Hackney voices Lee in PGR and Ayato in Genshin. I mentioned 4 of the VAs in the video who voice a Hoyoverse character or voice a character in PGR. This is not the earth-shattering revelation you think it is. I really hope, brother, that you explain how this is not an earth-shattering revelation, that there is, in fact, not an exclusivity contract between the two companies in video games, yet you seem to think suddenly there is. I would love to hear that.
Of my comment. He never actually put my comment on the screen and decided...
Because he's on stream, why would he?
...to pick and choose what to read to his viewers.
Like you're picking and choosing what clips to show right now, and you putting your own context in? I could rip this apart for the next fucking 17 minutes, dude. I'll do it.
He wanted to skip it to keep painting this narrative of incompetency about me.
It's a narrative that fits.
This is what he does to smaller creators.
No, this is what he does to people that spread misinformation on the internet and act like it's a fact.
He lies through omission.
That's really fucking rich.
To dunk on them and hopes his audience will not fact check him.
That's really fucking rich.
It is disgustingly...
I agree.
...manipulative.
I agree.
Sayu then follows up by announcing differences in CC and VA contracts.
The ZZZ contract was confirmed real. Many contracts... That's a different contract.
Yeah, obviously, a content creator contract and a voice actor contract is different. A content creator, for example, a Hoyoverse content creator playing Genshin is not going to get a contract that says, voice Jing Yuan. For voice acting, we will give you this amount of...
The contract for a content creator is not the same contract for a voice actor.
Obviously.
This makes a lot of sense, considering they are different careers entirely.
Exactly.
With different skill sets and work hours.
Yep.
I know this. What's really odd here is how Sayu seems to imply that I do believe that these contracts are the exact same, despite never stating that in either my comment...
Wasn't he clearly responding to a Twitch chatter?
Contract. The ZZZ contract was confirmed real. Many contract. That's a different.
He's literally not talking about you. This is not all about you. He's talking to his fucking Twitch chat because he's live streaming as a content creator. This is tough to get through, dude.
That I do believe that these contracts are the exact same.
This is tough to get through. Nobody gives a shit if you think the contracts are the exact same. He's not talking about you. You are not the rover here.
Stating that.
You are not the Jing Yuan of this conversation.
In either my comment or my video. And that...
Yeah, he's not talking to you.
That I'm, well, just take his words for it.
And if you genuinely think that, you are fucking stupid.
Yes. He's talking to a Twitch chatter.
Like, I'm sorry to and if you genuinely think that, you are fucking stupid. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, that is just not the way contracts work. There are literally contracts in different departments for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, can we use our brains for... Like, I'm sorry to shit on this person.
He's a big creator.
He was still talking about the Twitch chatter, by the way, clearly in that, because he was reading the message from Twitch chat.
His fans just take his word for it.
Take his word for what? That voice actor contracts and content creator contracts are different? You just agreed that they're different. What?
But they brought my name into it and like just spout and like with their tinfoil hat, it's like, well, he said this, but he didn't say this.
He's claiming that I deserve all of this because I did...
How? Sorry, how?
His fans just take his word for it.
But they brought my name into it and like just spout and like with their tinfoil hat, it's like, well, he said this, but he didn't say this.
So if you made a video saying about the Hoyoverse contracts and brought Sayu's name into it or Alejandro Saab's name into it and started saying he said stuff but didn't say other stuff.
He's claiming that I deserve all of this.
How?
Because I did these two things. I paraphrased his tweet that
Alejandro Saab has confirmed that he has no exclusivity in his contract.
Confirmed he had no exclusivity. I stated that he did not confirm his eligibility for renewal for future Hoyo contracts if he took on a Wuwa role.
But he did. You showed that he did. In this video, less than 5 minutes ago, you literally showed him saying they would renew his contract. I farmed Dreamless for like 30 separate fights yesterday to get 1 crit rate main stat on a fucking 5-star Echo. And this makes me even more angry than that fucking did.
When he did it, you do realize this much aggressiveness over a statement that...
He's not aggressive, he's defending himself, as he should when you come at him with fucking dumbass misinformation.
Really doesn't mean that much. Only will lead people to believe that you are actually being paid by Hoyoverse.
Wait. Does this guy not think he gets paid by Hoyoverse?
Only will lead people to believe that you are actually being paid by Hoyoverse, even though you're saying you're not.
Brother.
Because they probably pay you to say that you're not getting paid by them.
Oh my god, you are fucking ridiculous.
You're displaying some of the
They pay him to voice act a character.
most insane behavior that I've ever seen before.
By the way, the comments are siding with this dude. I don't know why. So there is 302 comments. I guarantee he's just deleting the comments that disagree. I guarantee. 100%.
People aren't
Or just people are upvoting the wrong ones.
gonna believe me. People are gonna be like,
Crazy,
well,
dude.
he's paid to say that. No, I'm not.
So, with that in mind, I'll ask for a third time. What am I taking out of context here? What did I do that warrants a 17-minute rant, misconstruing my words?
What did he do that warranted a 22-minute rant misconstruing his words, brother? You're fucking countering a point that doesn't exist with the same point. This is like the fucking battle between Harry and Voldemort, but if both of them were fucking wrong. In fact, no, it's not, because Sayu's right. So I use Harry and you're Voldemort. This is dumb.
From a 360k sub VTuber and famous VA. What did I...
Sorry, this guy spread misinformation about a famous person and is angry that famous person responded. I have no fucking sympathy.
...do to deserve this continual brigade by...
What did you do to deserve this continual brigade? Number one, you spread misinformation about the VA and the industry in general. Number two, you're doing this. You're the one drama farming out of this.
...by your community.
So now, like me talking about it, he's probably gonna be like, well, he didn't say this thing.
Guess what, Sayu? I am talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not asking why you didn't say things.
You know what? I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I'll ignore the part literally a minute ago where he spoke about him not saying things.
I'm asking why you're saying things that are definitively false.
Like what? Give an example, because everything he said so far is not false, or you haven't proven that it's false.
Let me explain.
Okay.
He dives into my list of examples where Hoyoverse has directly worked against Wuwa in recent days.
There has also been confirmed follow botting that is pro Genshin on many Wuwa Twitch streamers. That I don't know anything about. And if that is happening, that fucking sucks. They literally dropped Natlin news and quality of life upgrades the week of Wuwa's release. I mean, look, you might call me a Genshin dick rider or a Hoyo dick rider for saying this, dude.
They also did the same thing last year with Fontaine. They dropped the teaser in 4.7 and an even better teaser in 4.8. There is nothing that is saying they did this because of Wuthering Waves. Anybody that thinks they're going to make all that content just to get it ready for the release of a game that didn't even have a release date is fucking brain dead.
This shit is planned out weeks or months in advance. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the timing was just unfortunate. Like, I
think it was fortunate.
I don't know what to tell you. I have little doubt that Hoyo would implicitly put VA's employments in their games into question if they did voice work for the biggest competitor, considering everything that they've done already this week that can actually factually be confirmed. No, it factually fucking can't.
Yeah, what?
Like, the timing was just unfortunate. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I have little doubt that Hoyo would implicitly put VA's employments in their games into question if they did voice work for the biggest competitor, considering everything that they've done already this week that can actually factually be confirmed. No, it factually fucking can't. You are literally pulling this shit out of your ass.
Yes.
He says that my entire list of examples cannot be factually confirmed. There is follow botting. It's right.
There is follow botting. Is it confirmed that it is Hoyoverse doing the follow botting?
Here, the QOL teaser was released on 5/22 for...
That doesn't prove... Dude, them releasing a fucking developer discussion on a date doesn't prove that they did it to combat Wuthering Waves. That's so fucking stupid.
40 resin.
God, that's so stupid.
Day of Wuwa's release. You really think that changing two integers in the back end from 160 to 200 was something that they were planning for weeks?
Honestly, probably.
And months in advance? You are a writer, bro. This is writing. Then we have the Natlan teaser. Again, on the week...
Yeah, I bet they made that the night before, right?
...of release. All I said was that these were factual things that happened.
Oh my god, no. You're fucking a gaslighting piece of shit for this. No, you were acting like they did it to combat Wuthering Waves. Don't fucking backpedal now that he's proven you wrong. This is so fucking gaslighting bullshit.
On the week of Wuwa's release. Why are you repeatedly calling me a liar?
Because you're acting like it's one thing and then backpedaling and changing your mind, acting like originally that was your thoughts when it clearly fucking wasn't.
What am I pulling out of my ass?
The fact that they released all of this stuff to combat Wuthering Waves.
What here cannot be factually confirmed when I have the literal
the fact that they did these things to combat Wuthering Waves.
Receipts of it. Isn't all of this stuff coming from your pixelated mouth actual misinformation? Saying that that these public posts cannot be factually confirmed?
He's not saying the public post can't be factually confirmed. He's saying what can't be factually confirmed is the fact that they released these to combat Wuthering Waves.
All of this?
I will educate this guy. I hope he watches this video back.
To bully a 2,200 subscriber channel.
You keep doing this as if you weren't the one that came at him first. You picked a fight with a bigger dog than you and got mad when it bit back. Like, if you're gonna spread misinformation, just continue to fucking do it and destroy your reputation instead of doing this shit. This is so stupid.
Tells his viewers that the way that I say things is misinformation.
There's no misinformation anywhere in this video. Unfortunately, it's a statement of fact and then a discussion about hypothetical explanation. That's not fucking factual. That's the way you are dictating this information is misinformation.
Why'd he put the
way you are dictating this information?
Lay down authoritatively. Yeah. which is what's happening, right? The person of the video is like saying with authority that this stuff is true, or to read aloud. That's what he's...
Is misinformation.
Yes.
This is the literal dictionary definition of
false or inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. I think we need to get this guy a new shovel, because this grave ain't deep enough already.
misinformation. Highlighted here, deliberately intended to deceive. I cover a lot of information in my video.
I've interacted with Sayu before. I'm not even close with Sayu. I wouldn't even consider us friends. I would like to be. He seems like a very nice and cool guy. It's not like I'm defending him because he's a friend or anything. I'm defending him because he's fucking right. And this guy is literally just spreading utmost misinformation and acting like he's not. This shit's so annoying and dumb, dude. And then acting like the victim when he's called out on it. I despise it.
Video. First, the Wuwa cast of VAs revealed on their official channel, you can check it out right now, has a lot of unfamiliar names.
English VAs because they employ people from the UK because it was closer in time zones, and yeah, that was what they said, what Kuro said.
From the gacha and anime scene.
Yes.
The Wuwa CBT2 had no English dub. That was a cause for heavy criticism of the game earlier this year. EN voices from Hoyoverse games were originally in CBT1. Fourth is that Kuro had previously employed many VAs.
March's VA was Yang Yang? For what if there was no English voices? For, like, combat lines? Because if it was, this makes perfect sense. And I'll explain why in a second. Yeah, but Kuro could have changed their plans anyway. Well, this is the thing. He just said in CBT1. Yeah, but in CBT1 there was no English dub. So I don't know what he means by that. If it was just the combat lines, this makes sense. So here's probably what happened. And this is all speculation. I'm not saying this did happen. Kuro probably got some American voice actors, right? Is this voice actor American? Actually, yeah. Is this voice actor's American, right? Someone fact check that for me real quick, chat. Skylar Davenport is indeed American. Okay, so what probably happened is they employed some English American VAs in the US to do the voices. And then, like I said before, they've decided to go with the UK as an alternative because the time zones matched up better to be able to work with them. So what probably happened was they realized in CBT1 how difficult it was to work with US voice actors and decided, we're not going to do that moving forward. This is a beta. This is where changes are supposed to take place. We're going to change this now. If that doesn't make sense, well, fuck me.
T1. Fourth is that Kuro had previously employed many VAs in current Hoyoverse games in PGR.
Exactly.
I bring up 4 examples of different VA combos.
Damon Mills,
is that Wuthering Waves switched VAs completely despite having a team ready to go in CBT1, and subsequently had no English dub in CBT2. Something went wrong with the VAs and recording.
Which has been made aware it was the time zone difference. This was uploaded 3 days ago. You had time to fact check this information. You just didn't, because this information has been out for like a week at this point. Almost.
Sayu is saying that the way that I said these points, not what I'm actually saying, is misinformation. Imagine a 360k sub YouTube channel.
How many times are you gonna bring... Imagine a popular guy that I called out responding to a small guy. Like, dude, you called him out, brother.
Explicitly calling your channel and video out, refusing to watch the video, and then going on a 17-minute rant about how you are spreading misinformation and how nothing you say can be factually confirmed. They tell you, no, it's not the actual things you're saying. It's the way you're saying it.
No, he's also saying it's the things you're saying. You're just nitpicking at different points again to justify your own points. No, he's saying both. It's the way you say it and the things you're saying, and I agree.
The way you say things is misinformation. Your content doesn't matter. It's wrong because it came from you.
No, that's not what he's saying. Again, justifying your own point based on something that wasn't even said in the first place. This is literally gaslighting 101.
Why is a 360k
This guy's just envious at this point.
Sub VTube channel with a huge presence across social media doing this?
I can't wait until I upload this and I get a video saying 257k sub Genshin YouTuber is talking on me.
A creator that is a literal fraction of his size. Why was I not given?
It doesn't matter how big you are. If you're a 6 foot tall 30-year-old man walking down the street and then a 5'7" 30-year-old man comes up to you and punches you in the fucking face, are you gonna be like, oh my god, and expect him not to hit back because he's big? Like, dude, Listen to your fucking self.
Enough respect from him for him to watch a 6.
What was that?
Why was I not given enough respect from him?
What did you do to show that you were worthy of the respect after the only thing that he saw is you spreading misinformation about him?
For him to watch a 6-minute and 30-second video before going on a 17-minute rant.
I'm kind of glad he didn't watch it. He would have probably just fucking destroyed you.
Why does he claim that I am taking his words out of context?
Because you are.
When there's almost no clearer context I could have given.
There was every bit of clear context that you could.
You even say that you get speculation and you get game theory.
Yeah.
Look, I get speculations, I get game theories, I get it. But when it comes to this type of situation, you're just stirring up trouble for the sake of stirring up trouble.
I agree.
So why are you so pressed about this?
Because it's him that you're calling out specifically, and then acting the victim when he calls back and bites back, and you're literally just slandering his name and lying about contracts that you obviously haven't received and don't know anything about.
I didn't even use your name in an overly negative way. All I know is that from your point of view,
that would have been hilarious.
It's okay when it's a different topical area to come up with theories and explanations, but now it's stirring up trouble because you're involved. So
it's stirring up trouble with him because you involved him. If someone says men are trash, I'll agree. But if someone says BranOnline, that man specifically is trash, I'll defend myself. I think I'm pretty okay.
So you go nuclear on a 2,000 sub creator.
Oh. Has it dropped? How?
Why are you so pressed about this? Is it really that ridiculous to assume that taking on a role with the company's biggest competitor might hurt business relations? Oh wait, you actually started off your rant talking about the exact scenario.
Where are you going with this?
Where this situation would apply.
Which is a different scenario.
Sayu then dives a little bit more into
Oh, that's it?
Exclusivity and the contract situation.
Uh-huh.
If for whatever reason Hoyo or any company, whether it's Hoyo, Kuro, like any company I've worked with, that literally would tell me it's like, hey, because you're working on this thing, you can't work. Company I've Hoyo or any that literally would tell me it's like, hey, because you're working on this thing, you can't work on this thing.
Yeah.
You can't reprise a role. I would literally talk about it publicly.
Yeah, I believe you would. I think most voice actors would because it would be better for the entire industry rather than just the one select person.
In short, he's
pretty sure you're also allowed to and kind of have to disclose if you're in an exclusivity contract. I don't know that 100%, but I'm pretty sure if you're in exclusivity and someone asks, you kind of have to say it.
He's confident that he was filled
maybe not.
But he also confirms that he has NDAs.
Of course.
There's no NDA in your contract. There are NDAs in my contract.
So would you? Really? Or are you just saying random shit?
So you're assuming, again, this is why Sayu says it's the way you say things, because you say it in a very condescending manner, like you know exactly what he's talking about when you clearly don't know anything that he's talking about. Of course there's NDAs in a fucking voice actor contract. You're not allowed to say if you voice a character before the character's released, for one. You're not allowed to let people know any lines of what you've recorded for things that aren't even out yet. For two, there's plenty of NDAs for shit like that. You're just assuming it's the worst of the worst, which is why you're coming up with these tinfoil hat conclusions and acting like it's a fact. It's very odd, honestly.
Shit for the sake of it, to score more good boy points with your community.
Not at all.
Sayu,
he's defending himself from misinformation that you're spreading, so his community doesn't believe the misinformation, which is very valid and normal.
Give it to score more good boy points.
I do the same. Anybody
with
would.
Your community. Sayu, this is for
and he is a good boy.
You. There are literally NDAs that persist after its service terms are over for a set duration of time.
Yes.
Once expired, that's when people talk about it.
Yes.
Since you like soda so much, why do you think the recipe for Coke isn't public knowledge yet?
Okay.
Even though there's obviously somebody that knows all of the ingredients that are inside of Coke, but is no longer employed by Coke.
Okay.
Why isn't the recipe public knowledge? Well, that's because...
Isn't it on the bottle? Am I high?
The NDA persists after their service or work is over.
Yeah, it's a very normal thing.
And it could easily apply to you.
You know, content creators sometimes make $10 million a month. That could easily apply to you. because it's a thing that happens in the industry.
Here's a photo of it. I even highlighted it because you don't like getting context before making incredibly inflammatory statements.
Here's context on a thing that requires no context, because this is about literal fucking Coca-Cola contracts and NDAs that don't persist in Hoyoverse contracts.
And reaction videos.
Dude, you're so... This guy is passive-aggressive and gaslighting 101. It gives me a massive fucking ick. I think this guy needs help. I think this guy needs to learn a little bit more about human interaction and work on himself as a person.
Maybe your next one can be on NDAs and how they work, so you can learn a bit yourself.
God, you're fucking insufferable. Actually insufferable.
All I'll say about this is how noble of you to claim that I'm the one spreading misinformation. There's then a reference to other regions and talking about how they share a lot of different VAs.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is probably going to be with the whole, like, well, other regions have different laws and different contracts. Probably.
And also in other languages, there are literally, in the Chinese and the Japanese cast, folks who voice in Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and Wuthering Waves.
Yep.
The autonomy and additional protections granted by these regions extend far beyond those in the United States, especially for voice actors.
Knew it.
You mentioned...
Which is fair. It is fair. But at the same time, I really don't think Hoyo's going to be put in ENVA contracts and not others. It just doesn't. And they're obviously not. Sayu knows, and he would be obliged to say, I think, if there was exclusivity.
That studios can go ahead and change direction.
This is a non-issue.
All the time, for whatever reason. On the regions extend far beyond those in the United States, especially for voice actors.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned that studios can go ahead and change direction all the time for whatever reason.
Yeah.
On the US side. That does not happen on the Japanese side.
Changing directions for whatever reason doesn't happen on the Japanese side. And bro uses one anime as an example. I can literally show that it's happened in Genshin as well. There was issues with the JPVA, right? And they changed the direction completely. And they've changed the voice direction of multiple characters in other games as well. Like, the voice direction being changed is one thing. This is a totally separate issue and a fucking non-issue at that. What is the point of bringing this up?
These VAs are celebrities over there and have much more sway in negotiations. Much like how Sayu probably gets better contract terms than smaller name VAs because of his brand. Bringing this up as some sort of gotcha is crazy. You know your own working conditions.
Did he bring that up?
Are they even comparable to those in JP? Sayu then mentions that he knows nothing about Skylar Davenport's involvement in CBT1.
Which is
also,
fair.
I saw one thing where talk about, like, how in one of the closed betas, it was Skylar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about that.
This was also mentioned in my video. Further evidence that he's just publishing 17-minute rants and starting brigade.
Bro is so mad that he didn't watch a 6-minute video, by the way. I think that's where the biggest fucking issue comes in this. If he'd have just watched the video, he probably wouldn't have even made a fucking response. Brother, he's not obligated to give you 6.5 minutes of his time when all you're doing is spreading misinformation, and he can clearly see that from a pinned comment. I'm sorry, he's just not. He doesn't owe you that time. Nobody fucking does.
It's for content creators that he doesn't even watch. Now that is a responsible creator if I've ever seen one.
I agree. He's looking after his own mental health more than anything, because this is fucking dumb. This has pissed me off.
He then directly compares HSR to Wuwa.
How?
Like, Honkai Star Rail started off recording in one company and then ended up recording at a different company. So why the fuck wouldn't the same thing happen with fucking...
He's not comparing Honkai Star Rail and Wuwa, he's comparing the voice studios for Honkai Star Rail and Wuwa.
Wuthering Waves.
HSR has great voice acting and big names.
Sure.
Wuwa had questionable voice acting and VAs that have very little exposure to the genre.
Sure.
You seem
They've explained why.
to just equate the two games. He then
No, he doesn't.
talks about all of these different reasons for choosing a new studio or VAs, but then caps it off with this reason.
There could be 1,000 or 1,000,000 or a dozen reasons why they decided to change studios. Shit happened. It's the fucking industry.
Yes, which is very true, and I said this before.
Video's entire premise is based off of what shit could have happened and why.
Studios. Shit happened. It's the fucking industry.
My video's entire premise is based off of what shit could have happened.
But this is probably why Sayu again is saying that that this guy, it's the way that he says things, because he states it as fact and then gets pissed off when people discount those facts because it is misinformation. And like you've openly said that Sayu had the exclusivity agreement, or that the Hoyoverse contracts have the exclusivity agreement, and then that was counteracted, and now you're just clutching at straws to stick to that argument, even though it's completely destroyed. It's in pieces on the ground in a bonfire, ashes, embers.
And why? Would Kuro publicly say that they had to switch VA studios because of restricted access?
They did. They said that they went to the UK voice actors because the times didn't add up. That is what happened. They said that.
No.
Yes.
They wouldn't.
They did.
That's a terrible look on them.
They still didn't.
It makes them look like they cannot retain great talent, and
no, it doesn't.
And implies bad characteristics within their organization.
Maybe to you, in which case, I can see why.
Especially because they had an all-star cast in Punishing Grey Raven.
Okay.
Saying that the UK is closer?
Wait, this guy knows about that? Wait, this guy read the explanation from Kuro Games and still decided to make this video? No shot, he knew the reason why and still decided to say everything he just said. Oh, I lost all fucking respect. This tiny bit of preserved respect that I had left in me is gone. Let the man talk? No.
Cast in Punishing Grey Raven.
This is ridiculous.
Saying that the UK is closer? That might have been one of the reasons, but we don't actually know where it was on the list. But it is an acceptable one for the public.
And you wonder why people think you're wearing a tinfoil hat. They gave the reason, but there might be multiple more, and it might be just the one that they give it to the public. Maybe the voice actors are actually under exclusivity as well, and they're just lying about it. Brother, my God, and this guy has 360k subs, and I have 2k. Why is he counteracting my points?
Sayu then just says,
I thought Raiden was a bad cock. Fucking hell.
I'm making things up about him.
Literally the only reason I'm tackling it is because this dude is just making up shit about me.
When he literally confirms one of the two things.
I said one true thing and 10 false things, but to say that I'm making shit up is false because he confirmed that one of the 10 things that I said was actually true.
That I said, while the other says that he simply has not made the information known and then reveals the—
You didn't just say two things though. That's the most bullshit thing you said this entire fucking video.
Information.
Watch back the last 19 minutes and tell me these are the only two things that you said about Sayu.
Live on Twitch. I then followed these statements—
At this point, it's slander. It's so fucking dumb.
With questions that haven't been answered, which he also answers live on stream. Why and how is he misconstruing my words to such a large degree?
I think you misconstrued your own words and now you're confused with what even you said. I think you vehemently believe what you're saying, which is a problem in itself.
That he says things are getting twisted and spun.
It's constantly happening, and I feel like this is obviously getting fucking
so ironic.
Twisted and spun because, oh, drama bait, oh, it's funny.
For drama bait. Calling my entire post misinformation because of the way that I say things, and stating that nothing I mention can—
It was misinformation because of what you said and the way you say it, by the way, just so you know. It's a fucking double whammy.
And be factually confirmed despite—
False. You didn't say Genshin released this on the 5th of the 22nd of the 5th. You didn't say they view-butted on this date. You didn't say they released the Nightline trailer on this date. You said they did all those things specifically because of Wuthering Waves. That is what you said. But either way, that goes against both of your points. It's what you say and the way you say it. You said that. That is what you alluded to. That cannot be factually confirmed. That is what Sayu is saying.
Literal public receipts in front of your entire audience.
This is like taking a receipt for a Big Mac to McDonald's when you order chicken nuggets, brother.
And 360k sub channel.
How many again? I didn't quite catch it the first 12 times.
In front of your entire audience and 360k sub channel.
Okay, got
isn't getting things twisted?
Got you.
You think that diving into a 17-minute rant on a...
Wait, how long was the video again? I didn't quite get it the first 13 times.
Getting things twisted?
Wait a minute.
You think that diving into a 17-minute...
Oh, 17 minutes. Okay.
Rant on a comment that I made following your community's brigade and not even respecting me enough to spend 6 minutes watching.
I'm glad he didn't watch it. Not gonna lie, you two sound similar kind, won't listen with an open mind, but already have own opinion and won't budge from it. Interesting you say that. If you took that from all of what I have just said, I don't know how. When something is clear misinformation, you shouldn't listen to it with a fucking open mind. It's literally proven misinformation. This guy is upset that a 360k YouTuber didn't watch his 6-minute video, and he's upset that because he, a 2,000 sub YouTuber, called out a 360k sub YouTuber, that this 360k YouTuber decided to respond. That's why this guy's pissed. He's clout chasing. Drama farming.
Video for
that's all there is to it. And now I'm gonna make a video of this, and this guy's probably gonna get pissed at me as well.
You really think that your actions are not drama baiting at all?
No, his actions are responding to your drama baiting. How is that not so obvious, dude? How is that not so obvious?
You cannot be real.
I did think the same thing.
Right now. He then caps off the rant by mumbling,
yeah, everybody gets different contracts, so it's just ridiculous.
That's the same clip from earlier, which is true.
Does this not invalidate pretty much every single thing he said across the entire video?
What, that people get different contracts, so it invalidates everything?
Why is he talking about his contracts as if they are the standard in the industry?
Explain.
All I'll say is...
Oh, you're not gonna, okay.
Sayu, you are literally inviting your entire fan base, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, to attack me and my...
No, he's not. At all. Sayu didn't say go brigade this channel. They took it upon themselves because the information's misinformation and bullshit. That's just how it is. Sure, Sayu could say don't go and attack this creator. It ain't gonna stop them though. He's not their father. He's not their parental figure. It's not the case. The only one that says they're from Sayu is the top one. These others don't say that. They could literally just be from Honkai Star Rail community, Genshin community, even Wuthering Waves community. Take Sayu, people who watch Sayu out of this equation, I think it would have done just as bad for you, brother. I think the video was just in bad taste. I think you made a lot of shit up and clung to your illogical logic.
My content. You paint me as a liar and somebody who spreads misinformation while doing far worse than anything I could possibly ever do to you or any other creator. You have a huge reach and decided to misconstrue a 2,000...
Hey, at least this one has the 361k and the 17 minutes in the same screenshot, so we don't have to go through both.
200 subscriber channel in front of your entire audience for content. You refuse to...
You made the video.
Grab context for any of the comments.
You avoided context in 90% of this video.
Refuse.
The best context you gave was the Coca-Cola NDA, which had nothing to do with the argument.
To watch a video, but still decided it's worth monetizing. You have to take some responsibility for your actions.
You know, all of this could have been avoided if you just admitted you were wrong about it.
The only conclusion that I've been able to draw, and I'm sure it's a conclusion that maybe other people will be able to draw after this video, is that you probably are a shill.
Playground insult time. A shill. He's a voice actor for...
To draw after this video is that you probably are a shill. I mentioned your name in 2 lines out of a multi-paragraph comment.
Yeah, but the whole video was about Hoyoverse contracts and Hoyoverse voice actors. He falls under that bracket as well, so you specifically targeting him in those lines as well just adds to the rest of it. I don't understand your point here.
And you made a 17-minute video on it. All that leads me to assume is that you are paid
to voice act a character and to make content, not by Hoyo.
Hoyo called in the big guns. Got you to address this.
I'm sorry, hold on. If you didn't think... Okay, holy fucking shit, this is delusional. This is actual delusion. If you think Sayu, a 361,000 sub YouTuber, is bad for not responding to you specifically and watching your video because you have 2.5k subs, do you really think Hoyoverse watched your video first and then said to Sayu, please respond to this, I'll pay you? Holy fuck. That's wild.
Because it really doesn't make any sense otherwise. There's no reason for somebody to be this defensive unless they're threatened. That's how it works.
This is going to be the 10-minute video, but bro talked about fucking sub count for 12 minutes.
Oh, and by the way, that's just my theory. And the evidence and facts are literally your video. So any claims of misinformation?
You're saying his video is facts that he's paid by Hoyo to shoot down your video? I have a bit of advice. Please use your platform for something else.
Well, they came from the OG himself. As a final disclaimer, I do want to mention that I attempted to reach out to Sayu to resolve this offline, but he preemptively blocked me.
Good. I have to read this, I'm sorry. Hi Sayu, I appreciate the response to my comment, but I wish you would take the opportunity to watch my video. Of course you do. Number one, the WeWarcaster VAs revealed on their official channel had many unfamiliar names for the gacha and anime scene. Yeah, we know why. The WeWar CP2 had no English dub, which was a cause for heavy criticism of the game earlier this year. We also know why. EM voices from Hoyoverse games were originally in CBT1, yep, which is the reason they weren't in CBT2 because they went to English voices. Kuro previously employed many VAs in current Hoyo games in PGR. I bring up 4 examples, of course, that's fine. They switched VAs completely despite having a vision in CBT1, yeah, and we know why. You even said that you know why. I then offer an explanation for this set of circumstances based on previously stated exclusivity contracts with the content creation scene as a basis for potential exclusivity contracts in VAs. Yeah, but you didn't word it as if it was a potential thing. Apparently you worded it as if it was like a fact, which you said multiple times, and it was disproven as a fact, but you still clung to it. I use this angle because content creators and VAs both work across a variety of games. Yeah, but the contracts are very different. VAs and CCs are very different things. Their exposure or involvement is oftentimes enough to draw great attention and market into a game. Of course it is, that's great. There are many that are excited to hear that you're taking on a role and engage with the product or service as a result. That is true. You yourself mentioned that the Coca-Cola wouldn't want their voice advertising for Pepsi. Very different situation. So it's disingenuous and ridiculous to believe that Hoyoverse wouldn't want General Jing Yuan voicing General Jian. It's not ridiculous. Plenty of other video game characters have also voiced in competitor games the exact same role, and the same thing does happen in Wuthering Waves and Star Rail with Jing Yuan and Jian, apparently with CN. That's crazy. Hoyoverse has clearly demonstrated they don't want the CC voice of Z. They don't want this. Wait, what? Hoyoverse has clearly demonstrated they don't want the content creator voice of Zenless Zone Zero to become the voice of any of its competitors. Is that a thing? When the fuck did they do that? I haven't seen that. That might be different news that I've never heard. Is that a thing? No. You yourself said that you would be open to an exclusivity contract if Hoyo paid you enough. Where? I feel like you should have put that in this video if he said that, to be honest. And he did say he'd openly talk about it as well. I also appreciate that you're willing to comment on the post yourself to add more context, but I locked comments due to a brigade from the Argacha Gaming subreddit. Well, that's funny because you said it was a brigade from Sayu's community, but I guess the fact that he probably wrote this comment, saw that Sayu blocked him and got pissed off, and then changed the narrative to say instead of the subreddit brigading him, it was actually Sayu's community because he's offended and pissed off. I was not looking to attack you in any way with my statement, but had received multiple comments claiming you had cut me on Twitter, based, when you were only stating that you had no exclusivity. I apologize for my wording, and but you said you didn't apologize for your wording because the way you said things wasn't the problem. Listen, I'm not even going to read the rest. I think you just need to work on things, dude. I think you've got a very cynical view of life. I think the tinfoil hat stuff is very accurate. I think you just need to admit when you're wrong and own it. And I apologize if you took offense to this, but at the same time, I don't know, dude. I just feel like you went about it the wrong way, and that's the problem. You went about it the wrong way. You're sticking to points that have already been disproven, and you're acting like nobody does. Like, if someone's bigger than you, you're allowed to call them out without any repercussions, which is fucking bullshit and wrong. So, guys, I will say, don't go and bombard this video. That is literally the problem. You can have your opinion on it and stuff, but don't go hating the CC and stuff. Like, you can have your own images in your head. That is literally the point of like what he's saying. Don't go bombard people. Don't go harass people. Don't be fucking pieces of shit. Okay. Obviously, if you've got an opinion on the video and you're like, this is misinformation, that's fine, like Zeva did. It is misinformation. It's dumb. But don't attack people. Attacking people is dumb.